Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Oh, my mic is in the wrong place. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Behind the Curtain week. Haha. um, it's been a little while. I was away the last 2 weeks, and I want to be super specific with when I was away. Security reasons, blah blah blah. Even though, there was no risk, but I don't know. It's one of those things where I feel like I should probably be careful with that. Welcome back to Behind the Curtain, the series where I talk about my weeks and a running theme throughout them. Like I said, the last 2 weeks I've been on holiday away in the seaside, where I go kind of every year. It's like a tradition. I kind of have done it ever since I was born. And it's really special. I mean, obviously over time the childlike wonder fades away, but the special moments, the things I've always kind of grown up doing, they really matter. And kind of seeing that place every year is a kind of reset. And it's weird because when you're there, it feels like it wasn't long ago since you were there, but it's actually been a whole year, and so much has happened since then. And for the whole trip, I was kind of thinking, wow, all the stuff that's happened between the last time I saw that place and then, which obviously is even different now. Oh my god, we already had a Neo. This is gonna be a hard housing. But yeah, it's weird, right? Because I don't know. It's like you're probably like, how was the trip overall? Did you enjoy it? Yes. But I think there were a few drawbacks, kind of like there's been a running theme with everything at the moment. I did involve myself too much in online stuff still when I was away, and I made that mistake of, doing that. So I had to kind of, in general, I've kind of moved Discord on my phone now, because honestly, opening it a lot at the moment there's just always something, But yeah, that kind of dampened a few things, and then a few typical family drama here there. I'm a very if somebody I care about starts guilt tripping me, I will feel so guilty, even though I know that's their game. And that was a kind of running theme of what kind of happened. Obviously, I still enjoyed the trip, but there were a few things that were kind of reoccurring negatives where I was like, man, I really wish this wasn't going this way. Also, side note, just in case I forget to mention it, I got a new version of the skin. I'm trying to get versions of my Kintsugi main skin to match all the capes I have. So here's the one for the MCC 15 cape, made by Dovi as always. So yeah, it's been interesting because the trip is special because, like I say, it's kind of a reset. We used to go with my grandparents, and if you've watched, if you're a long time viewer of Behind the Curtain, you'll know how close I was, especially to my granddad. And I have a lot of memories with him there and with the whole family in general. So it's really special to go and kind of rekindle those memories. I remember last year when I went. What am I missing here? Yeah, I remember last year when I went, and I had the same thought. I was just kind of sat looking at the sea, and I was like, man, one day I'm gonna bring somebody I love here, and we're gonna watch the sunset that I watched with my granddad, that I've watched with my dad, that I've watched with all my family. It was like a little full circle, and I kind of did the same thing this year. I have made no progress in any way to any of those things, but it's sometimes you can't just get what you want, so I'm very much kind of with that sort of stuff. Whatever happens will happen. I can't control that sort of stuff. I don't really talk that much about relationship stuff in general, but yeah, it's one of those things that obviously is a big pillar of any person's life my age, and it is a thing I've always kind of struggled with, especially because my one main experience was very much tainted. So yeah, it's something I don't really want to go into too much. I don't know, maybe I will one day, but for now, yeah, that was a little tidbit on it there. But yeah, in general, I was able to enjoy it, but there was certainly setbacks. Also, just 2 weeks of being just with family and no friends. The only people I was around at all was family. And obviously, I love my family so much, but the social aspect, there's only so much you can spend around them before you start to want to kill each other a little bit. And I was definitely missing some of the social kind of. I really wish I had someone else there with me, relationship thing, or just a close friend that I could just kind of relax with and kind of turn off everything in my mind and yeah, just enjoy it. But I did enjoy it, and yeah, there were a lot of reoccurring things that have been happening over the last few months that were kept going. That was sad. And yeah, me being me, got involved with it because that I can't turn my brain off for that sort of stuff. And it, you know, it didn't blow up in my face, but like it was detrimental to me, that's for sure. And it was one of those cases where like textbook, you look like the bad guy for doing the thing that's, you know, right. But yeah, it's an interesting one. There's been a lot of situations behind the scenes that I can't go too into depth with, but yeah, I feel like I in general have always had this worrying thought that people speak badly of me behind closed curtains, and it's, especially with recent situations, it feels like that's definitely the case. I know, I feel like I'm always spoke about like as that guy, like, oh, we can't let him. I don't know, it's hard to describe. I feel like I'm spoken about like a child, but maybe that's just me like worrying. I don't know. I just fear that people have a very warped perception of me, maybe because a lot of my life people have, so I'm kind of used to that, and I don't know, I just really struggle to trust how people treat me when I'm not there. You know what I mean? Like, I struggle thinking and, like, really believing that if I'm not somewhere that, like, people will defend me and stick by me, or they'll just be like, oh, actually, he does this all the time, that's really annoying. Oh, actually, he says this, but he's actually like this, blah, 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 you know what I mean? And there's been a few small things that have kind of triggered that. And yeah, obviously I'm probably reading too much into it, and it's just like, you know, somebody else was having a bad day, so they kind of lash out in one way or another. But I don't know, just kind of the kind of stuff I've been through with friendships and stuff, it will always kind of leave a mark. So I don't know, maybe that's one of the things I'm kind of struggling with at the moment, is I just feel like the way people act to me is not the way that people truly think of me. Because I feel like the way people truly think of you or care about you is how you, when you're not there, right? When you're not there so that they don't hurt you, I feel like is when you would truly see how people really think of you. Like, if I worry that, like, someone could bring up me, like, disliking me or saying that I'm a bad person because of X, Y, Z or whatever, and then all my friends would just be like, yeah, you know? That's probably a stupid fear, but I think that's kind of been one of many things occurring at the moment. But kind of the main thing and the main theme of today that I kind of wanted to talk about was very much came from the trip. And it was to kind of realize the thing of, like, I would rather be hurt than hurt someone else. And that, like, that sucks and is also great because I don't like hurting people. But, like, I realized, man, I constantly let myself get hurt, or would rather, like, I take the loss than I cause someone else to be hurt. Like, there was one day during the trip where, like, I, like, kind of lashed out, but like, felt like pretty justifiably, right? And I felt like I felt like the worst person ever afterwards. I felt so bad, like, I can't, like, so to the point where, like, I felt guilty of, like, saying anything I said, and that it then just ended up being like, actually no, I'll just let myself get hurt instead. I don't know, I feel like I constantly do this thing where I just keep doing that. I just keep letting myself get hurt to save other people the pain. I feel like it's a trend that I've noticed, and it's not, like, healthy for me, but, like, also I don't know, I just feel like half the time I don't get shown, like, the care I show, and like I've said a lot how I struggle with that sort of, this is not possible, right? Like, it just actually isn't possible. But I've said before how I struggle with that sort of, like, whole thing of, like, saying I am something, because then I don't want to get too full myself, because I worry about superiority complex stuff, blah blah blah. But it's one of those things, it's like, how do I, like, appreciate myself and the good qualities I have without, like, being too full of myself and thinking I'm the best person in the world, because I don't, obviously. But yeah, I don't know, it's a hard one. That's just kind of how I've been recently. I've just kind of realized that, wow, I just, like, keep letting myself get hurt, or would do, like, I realized especially, like, the last year or so, or just the last few years of my life, have started doing so much more for other people, and then never getting, like, much of that back. Like, I feel like someone will ask me for stuff, and I'll constantly do it. Like, even if somebody's upset me, chances are I'll still do it because I'll feel bad, and then I have to like beg to get any of that back. You know, I don't know. It's a tough one. But yeah, that's kind of the point I'm at. I was really not in a great state last night, and right now, to be honest. Last night I was just kind of sat thinking about all the stuff I got going on, and I basically thought, you know, let's do a fun little thought exercise. I'm gonna write down every single thing I've got going on in my life right now that I'm having to like manage in my brain at once. Because I was like, oh, it'll be like a fun little thought exercise. How many things? I wrote down 37 things that I am currently having to deal with all at once right now. And I was like, man, I cannot, like, I can't physically keep going on like this. Like, I physically can't. I've got so much, like, I don't help myself half the time because I'll put myself at the forefront of situations. Like I say, I'll let myself get hurt, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I've got so much going on, and I don't have it in me to not be able to jump into that sort of stuff, to not be able to feel obligated to have to look after people, to have to, like, be in charge of things. Because, fun fact, if you're not in charge of things, half the time you will just get left out of them. And if you guys saw, but Kara made a pretty sad tweet on her main, Kara Chorus, about feeling left out of things or whatever. And it's basically just like trying to schedule things with people, feeling left out and hurting and that. And I saw it and was like, wow, this is me. And it, you know, like I've kind of said before, the kind of whole point of this channel is that, like, you know, if you have gone through similar things, then hearing other people are going through them can be somewhat validating and stuff like that. And seeing Kara's things kind of had me thinking that way as well, because obviously Kara is somebody who is a decent bit older than me and makes a living in this environment, right? But to see that she has a lot of the same concerns and issues that I do was like, wow. And I was like, I kind of want to try and give her some advice. So I kind of replied, giving her some, we had a bit back and forth about stuff. And yeah, we basically just were like, yeah, most of the time, if you aren't the one to proactively like set something up, you'll get left out of it. And why is that? I hypothesized that it might be because because you seem so like strong, that people just don't think to include you, and because you never like visibly like show being upset like often or whatever, people just don't like that. Just never crosses their mind. They think you're strong enough to not be on their mind and them have to involve you in stuff, which I think that could make sense. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of where I've been at. I don't know. I don't really know what point to do. Also today, I got like a show coming up. I mentioned it briefly where I'm doing a few songs. I've not been able to sing in a while because I've been away, whatever. Today I tried singing a bit, and I genuinely couldn't do a single song I tried to sing. And now this is like another thing on my list of things going on in my life that like I don't know how to deal with. Like, it's like it's like, oh great, another thing that I have to deal with now, you know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. Also, what am I meant to do here? Bruh. Was that the end? Well, that's a sad way to end it, isn't it? But yeah, I don't really know. I feel like this is basically always a downer, but then again, I guess that's kind of the theme of these videos. I also just like, let me see the list. I don't want to go through all these things on this list because some of them are incredibly personal. Some of them are like online stuff, some of them are like personal health stuff. Let's see what I wrote down. I basically have I have like a journalizing thing on my phone where I can just like write if I ever really need to talk, but like don't feel like I can. I don't want to burden people. Last time I wrote in it, I think was April until last night, so that was cool. Let me see. But yeah, I started writing on this list. Yeah, so like viewership stuff. I literally get like 20 viewers on events now, and it's like, it's not about like, oh, I'll never make it as a content creator, that ship has sailed. It's more about like, when I had a decent amount of viewers, and don't get me wrong, I still appreciate the amount, but like when I had obviously significantly more, it made me feel like the sense of validation of I'm achieving the thing I've always wanted to. You know, all those people were there because I made them smile or laugh, and they were enjoying me, so they wanted to watch me. And to see that fade away basically so quickly, the way it has, reminds me that that was all fake. Like, I always do this thing, basically, of inventing fake scenarios and, like, thinking, like, trying to be optimistic and be like, oh, this is the reason why this thing happened, this is the blah, blah, blah. And then it doesn't happen that way, and then I work it out in my brain and actually realize that it's been a lie the whole time, and that, yeah, I then start, like, looking really deep into things to find the actual reasoning, and then basically all the time it's disappointing and upsetting. But yeah, viewership stuff, event stuff, if you guys caught the stream yesterday, but like, and again, Block Wars, I'm honestly not really that bothered. I'm not even signing up for PB. I won't lie, I'm kind of upset with the way they manage stuff, and also, I just don't have it in me right now. Like, I need to protect my voice, even though, as tonight's proven, I don't even know if that's going to happen. And I don't know, they just often bring disappointment. They're just reminders of failure, right? They're just reminders of how I'll never reach or be given things that other people will be given. And, yeah, I can't keep going on the way I have. Something's got to break that cycle. I also got some good things coming up this weekend. I'm going to be meeting up with some IRL, well, some of the lads. And hopefully that will be nice. I know, it's just like small things. Saturday, I had a friend who was moving in to a new house, and they have like mobility issues, and they were really struggling and asking for a lot of help, but we were away. So when we got back the day after, me and my dad decided to just go and help. And that felt really good to just help, you know, for the sake of helping. And then afterwards it passes, and then, you know, I get back and I'm like, oh, I'm going to have a break now and relax. And then boom, something bad happens that comes up. One of them 37 things props up, and it's like, man, obviously, you don't do good things with the expectation of good things, but, like, I've just spent a whole day helping somebody out, and another situation that could be prevented by somebody thinking, you know, maybe I'll help other people out, props up, and it's just, I can't, man. I can't. Yeah, I also, like, another thing on the list is, like, doing these videos, because I have to do them weekly, and I need to be doing them weekly, and I'm not, and I know, you know, people will say in the description, no, you don't have to do them. I do, you know, like I do. It's a good way to talk about stuff, and like I say, hopefully it helps you guys. And being transparent shows you more about actually me, you know. So you actually understand who I am, because I worry people don't, like I kind of said. But how's your week been? How have your last 2 weeks been? You've been on holiday. You have similar thoughts to me. You have thoughts on my situation that I mentioned. All that sort of stuff. Once again, I don't do this to just like sit there and be like, please feel sympathy for me. I do this as an outlet and also transparency, and, you know, like I say, maybe it can help validate anything you're feeling, make you feel like you're not alone, because trust me, sometimes it can be rough, but you're not. Even I have to remind myself of that sometimes. I say it like I'm a model citizen, but, like, you know, I have to remind myself of that sometimes, because I am not alone, but it's you know, it definitely can feel like it sometimes. But you've always got someone you can reach out to, and things will eventually look up eventually. But yeah, I don't know. I really wish, like, I'd get the benefit of the doubt with, like, half of these things. I don't know. I'm worrying a lot about, like, the show stuff coming up, that I'm just going to bottle it, and I'm going to fail in front of, you know, actual live audiences, and then I don't know what I'll do with myself. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to touch on. Yeah, I'm not going to go into any of those other points. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, thank you guys for all the support, all that good old stuff. I hope you guys are enjoying these, and while the viewership is low, I do still appreciate, it's not for the viewerships, especially this, but I hope you guys do still appreciate this. And how have your week been? Hope it's been good. Curious what your thoughts are on everything, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.